back with the Wonder Years after a short hiatus. And we are starting in the Thomas's household again for this episode. Um, it's a Sunday here in my world. In their world, it's Tuesday. But I feel like this LP is a very Sunday-ish LP. So I decided this is the day that I'm going to record the next episode of The Wonder Years. And of course, the Thomases are enjoying an evening together. They just finished dinner, and Devin went for a little swim before he finished his homework. His parents are sitting on the couch and just, enjoying an evening, flirting and, cuddling. They're like, so we're going to say goodnight. Well, maybe they're not going to go to bed. They're going to say goodnight, but they're not going to bed. Devin's like, get a room, please. Dennis and Felicia have a very healthy relationship, which includes, nights of passion, date nights. They really enjoy each other's company. They're each other's best friends. All in all, they're couple goals. Dennis, after a morning of lovemaking, is getting up to make breakfast. So Dennis has gotten up early this morning to make breakfast for his family. He's not exactly the best cook, but he's definitely leagues above Marco Wellesley. At least he's not burning down the kitchen. So he's making eggs and toast, and Felicia has gotten up to do, she was going to do a little bit of laundry, but apparently there's something wrong with the washing machine. Did Dennis just sneeze on the eggs? Okay, well, I guess those snotty eggs are good enough for Devin. Anyway, so both Felicia and Dennis are professionals. So Dennis is a lawyer, but he is a public defender, and he does a lot of pro bono work, so he doesn't make a ton of money. And Felicia works in mental health. But she works for the community, and so she also doesn't make a lot of money. So that's why a lot of their stuff is broken around their house. And a lot of the time, Dennis will try to fix things on his own or get Devin to help him in order to save some money, but he's very busy because he's a lawyer, so it usually takes a while for it to get done. All right, so we are in the Wellesleys' house now, and Janae is up and feeling fine this morning. She's doing well in school. She really is enjoying her new relationship with Devin, and she has not felt better in her life. I'm not sure why Jasmine is in her room. I guess being a sneaky little sister trying to find her diary. But Janae is also feeling fine about that because she hid it well. So we are going to go to school with Janae today. All right, so Elise is out in front of the school, so Janae's going to go say hi to her. She's like, oh, Elise, I missed you. Elise is like, I saw you yesterday in class. What do you mean you missed me? Janae's like, oh, but I didn't get to see you after school. She's like, maybe my mom will let me off punishment soon. She's like, you know how well I've been doing? I've been making A's and A pluses. Janae is excited that she gets to have her phone in school. And here is her favorite person, Devin. She's like, Devin, I so missed you last night. I don't know how long I can take this punishment. We can't even talk after school or anything. Devin's like, I know, right? Did your mom say when you might be getting off of punishment? Janae's like, she hasn't said yet. But, hopefully soon. All right, so they're making out. He's like, well, I can see you really miss me. She's like, it's so boring at home these days. I'm so happy to be at school. And did you hear I made A's and A pluses on my report card? So my mom can't keep me on punishment for too long. But, don't tell anybody, but she's actually pregnant. Devin's like, your mom is having another kid? She's like, yeah, so she kind of forgot that I was on punishment, and she kind of forgot to, let me off punishment, so that's why I'm still on punishment. He's like, well, don't worry about it. Maybe you should, remind her, and let her know how responsible we'll be. Janae's like, yeah, I'm not sure my mom will believe that. So she's going to class before she's late. Apparently, Devin doesn't care. Oh, great. Now she has to go to the bathroom and she's late for class. All right, so they have Mr. Fine, substitute teacher, again this year. Apparently, Miss Rita is never coming back. Apparently, they scared her away and she's never coming back. Or maybe she retired. But either way, Mr. Fine teacher is teaching again this year, and he is just as boring as he was last year. So Janae has decided she's going to talk to him because she needs to get some recommendations for college. I mean, she's only a sophomore, but you know, Janae's always an overachiever and way ahead of things. She's like, Mr. Fine substitute teacher, you've had, of course she doesn't actually call him that. What is his name? We don't even know what his real name is. She's like, you've been my teacher for 2 years now and I've gotten A's in all your courses. He's like, yes, you're one of my best students actually. You're very intelligent and all your ideas are well thought out. Great, so I was wondering if I could maybe get a recommendation from you because I've really enjoyed your classes, Mr. Gibbs. He's like, you know, I would, but I think you're a little young yet and maybe you should work on listening. What do you mean listening? I listen. He's like, you don't really listen. You kind of talk a lot in class, and you know, sometimes you talk over me. And lately you've been on the phone a lot. I've thought about confiscating it. You've got quite the mouth on you, kid. Keep that up and I'll send you straight to detention. Okay, so we go from her asking him for a letter of recommendation for college to him sending her to detention. That didn't go well, Janae. All right, so it's lunch again, and they're serving the usual mysterious chicken sliders. We're not sure if it's chicken. Devin's like, ugh, I miss my mom's cooking. It's like, so I kind of missed part of the beginning of the first part of class. Do you mind if I borrow your notes, Goth? Goth is like, you want my notes? I make D's. You make A's. Why would you want my notes? Tiara's like, you definitely don't want my notes because I don't even have any notes. Wait, he has a crush on Tiara? You do realize like that's your best friend's girlfriend, baby mama. Devin's like, maybe sometimes I wish Janae was more like you, more available, you know, on the block. She couldn't even come to lunch. Tiara's like, I mean, maybe I could talk to her. He's like, well, would you? Oh, hi, Mr. Gibbs. She's like, hey, Devin, how are you doing? So how are the chicken sliders today? Devin's like, terrible as usual. He's like, I might need to go to the nurse to get some Tums later. Mr. Fine teacher's like, well, maybe I won't eat this then. The other teacher's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to eat it either. Devin's like, were you able to write that letter of recommendation for me, Mr. Gibbs? Mr. Gibbs like, yeah, sure, I got it for you. Is Devin taking a muscle selfie at the table? I can't. All right, so Devin is in the computer lab working on his college application. He still hasn't talked to his parents about graduating early, and he hasn't decided if he actually wants to graduate early because, you know, his relationship with Janae is going well, and he thinks maybe he might want to stay an extra year. But, you know, this application or this Clark Atlanta brochure looks great, and he's real excited about getting out of high school and going to college. So he has a lot to consider. Apparently the principal is pregnant. Is everybody pregnant? Oh, and here comes the principal about to yell at Devin again. He's like, oh, sorry, I gotta go. Class, I'm almost made... You did not make it in time and you're in trouble again, Devin. He's definitely not asking her for a letter of recommendation. She's like, you're breaking my heart. You're like one of my best students and yet you can never get to class on time. He's like, I'm going. I'm almost there. You see. I'm stepping through the door. I'm sitting in my seat. Janae is not quite sure why Mr. Gibbs won't write a letter of recommendation for her. She's actually quite insulted. But she's going to focus in class. She's going to push through. She's going to make sure she gets another A in his class so she can show him that it doesn't matter that she talks so much. And maybe his ideas aren't as great as he thinks that they are. Saved by the bell, because he surely was boring today. Who is this girl next to her yelling at? She's definitely not sitting in the back of the class. And she's gonna yell at Janae. End of day report. The teachers have collected homework and dismissed their students. Some Sims are still hanging around, but everyone is free to head home. And she is a high school A student. She has good performance. See, Mr. Gibbs? I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Janae is also a great big sister. Jasmine doesn't think Janae talks too much. Too bad she can't write her a letter of recommendation for college. Why is Jasmine this tense? Jasmine's like, I should be out here making money. Maybe I'll set up a lemonade stand or something. First, I gotta go take a shower. Janae's like, I ate those chicken sliders, didn't I? I need some Pepto-Bismol. Early midlife crisis. So apparently Claire is still having an early midlife crisis. But she did give Janae her phone back and told her she's off punishment. So she's like, guess what, Devin? I'm off punishment. Now we can talk after school every day. And, maybe I can come over and hang out and we can study together. Do you think I talk too much? He's like, no, I don't think you talk too much. All right, so Devin just got off the phone with Janae when he hears a loud noise outside, a huge banging. So he decides to go out to investigate. Oh no, something is happening to his dad. It appears as though someone is dying. You need to call the emergency services immediately. Click on your phone and look for the household tab, then select report a death. Devin is shocked to find his dad on the ground. He's not sure what to do. Just by instinct, he calls 911. His mom comes out to see what's going on, and then she finds Dennis on the ground too, and she starts to scream. The entire neighborhood is shocked to find out that Dennis has been shot in front of his house. He was a beloved neighbor, husband, father, and friend, and no one is sure how this could have happened. Dennis has been removed from the Midtown Law Firm Club because he no longer meets its admission requirements. Perhaps there are other clubs out there for him. Oh, can they be any colder? Every Sim deserves a proper funeral. Would you like to pay respects to Dennis Thomas's death and be the executioner of his funeral? Yes. Now they're removing him from the poker club. I mean, can you people at least let the body get cold? That's it for now. I'll have to take the body for further investigation and for the post-mortem treatment. I'll call you in a couple of days with the results. In the meantime, I'll leave you to your grief. You have my deepest condolences. Felicia is trying to find out how Devin is doing, but he's unsure how to process his feelings, and he really doesn't want to talk right now. After spending most of the night crying, Devin gets up early the next morning and decides that he is going to graduate early from high school, and he puts in his application for college. So he doesn't want to stay in this house any longer. You know, he's still extremely numb from the day before, but he knows he doesn't want to spend the next year here. So he's decided that he's going to put in his application and he's going to graduate early from high school and leave for college. Devon's university application is on its way. The university will look over the application and mail the results back sometime in the next few days. Devon may also check his application status at any time on a computer. All right, so Devon's going to need to apply for scholarships. Obviously, with his father's death, they're definitely not going to be able to afford to just pay for him outright to go to college, and he doesn't want to take out loans, so hopefully he can get some of these scholarships. All right, so he applied for the Willow Creek scholarship. He's also pretty good at basketball, so we'll apply for the athletic scholarship. I think that's all he probably qualifies for. All right, so Devin spent the whole entire day in his room working on his college application and applying for scholarships. And now it's night again. He missed school, but he probably is not. He probably is not going to go back to school since he's decided to graduate. And he has decided to go spend some time in his father's favorite spot where they fish together. Maybe he can catch a fish for his father. Felicia has also spent most of the day sleeping. She feels really just tired and down and sad. Of course, all of this is expected, but she feels like maybe something else is wrong. She's hopeful that maybe this means that before he passed, she was able to get pregnant. They had talked about having another child since Devin is now graduating out, but apparently she's not pregnant, so obviously that it was not meant to be. Felicia is wondering if Devin wants to talk now, and Devin clearly does not want to talk. He hasn't even told his mother that he plans to graduate, and he really doesn't want to talk about it right now, so he still hasn't told her. And he basically is just starting arguments because he doesn't want to talk about his father. So he's asking her why she's not going to work. You know, he feels like she's being lazy. They have bills to pay. And this is why he doesn't know how much longer he's going to be able to stay in this house. And she's asking him what that means. And he's just kind of ignoring her. All right, so Devin goes next door to Loco's house. He knows Loco had come by earlier to, give his condolences, and he wasn't available, so he's come by to let him know he's doing okay. And he also has some business he wants to talk about. He's like, someone shot my dad in front of my house. So we got to figure out who did it, and we got to get payback. Loco's like, yeah, I know, but let me handle that. I mean, you're not in the streets and you should stay out of the streets. Your dad wouldn't want you to be in the streets. So let me handle it. And Devin's like, there's no way I can just let you handle this. Like, it's my dad. He's like, yeah, well, you can honor your dad. He's like, I can honor my dad by getting payback. And Loco's like, no, 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 no. Let me handle it. You just keep doing well in school and at basketball and get that scholarship for me, okay? So Devin's staying home from school again today. He decided to go to San Machino to play some basketball on his own, away from people that know him, because he needs to clear his head. He doesn't want anybody trying to talk to him or, give condolences. So he spends the entire day at the basketball court playing basketball. And his phone is ringing off the hook, people trying to find where he is, and he will not answer anybody or text anybody back. Did that? I, I mean, really. So, Devin has no idea who any of these people are, but he's happy to be around strangers. Oh, well, that was a good one. So finally, it starts to rain, and he decides he needs to call somebody back. So he lets his mom know he's in San Machino and that he's on his way home. But it stopped raining, so he decided to stay a little bit longer. When he finally does decide to get home, he decides it's time to get in the pool. He's feeling a little bit better, but really it's just he's distracting himself with all these activities. He's about to like exhaust himself. I mean, he played like 7 hours of basketball and now he's swimming laps in a pool. His mom, after finally getting the call that lets her know he's okay, she has decided to go out to lunch at Walt's with Claire because she needs a distraction herself. And what's better than spending some time with your best friend and getting some comfort food at Walt's? So they decide they're not going to do much talking and just a whole lot of eating because, obviously Claire's pregnant, so she wants to eat, and Felicia is feeling extremely depressed over the loss of her husband, so she wants to eat. So they're going to get some, well, Felicia's going to get a beer, Claire's going to get some water, lemonade, and let's get the best thing on the menu. Cost is not a factor. And after that, we'll probably get something else. So by the time Felicia gets back home, Devin is still in the pool. I mean, he is about to drown. He's so exhausted. He finally gets out. He's tired of hearing his mom cry, so he's decided he's going in his room to turn the computer on as loud as possible. And maybe check his university applications. Do we have any news? All right, so Janae has been trying to call him for days, but he's been avoiding her. So she finally decides she's just going to come over. Well, she had come over before to drop off some of the food that her mother made, but nobody was answering the door. But today, Miss Felicia finally decided she was going to answer the door for Janae. And Janae's trying to extend sympathies and, talk to Miss Felicia. She's asking how Devin's doing. She's like, I don't want to disturb him. I just want to make sure he's okay. And Miss Felicia is basically like, I don't know, because he's in his room with the door locked. He's not really wanting to talk to me. Maybe you can talk to him. So Janae goes to the door to try to talk to Devin. Of course, the door is locked. And he's kind of ignoring her and a little upset that his mom let Janae in the house. But he finally answers the door because she's persistent. She's like, I just wanted to check on you, make sure you're doing okay. He's like, how do you think I'm doing? I mean, if you need anything at all, I'm here for you. He's like, well, what I need is for you to leave me alone, which is why I haven't been answering the phone. So, could you leave? Janae's like, I know you're having a tough time, but do you really want me to leave? He's like, look, you know, I'm just going through some things right now, Janae, and actually, I'm thinking that I'm going to be leaving next year. She's like, leaving next year? He's like, yeah, leaving next year. And if I'm in college, I can't be dating a high school student. And so I think we should break up. Janae's like, really? You really want to break up? I mean, I know things have been tough, Devin, but I really could help you through. Devin's like, you can't do anything. You really can't do anything. I just need to work this out for myself. And I can't work this out with needy girls around asking me about my feelings every 5 minutes. It's bad enough my mom's doing it. He's like, I thought you left. I told you to leave. I broke up with you. I told you to leave. I told you I never wanted to talk to you again. What else do I need to say to get you out of my house? Janae's like, you know what, Devin? I was trying to be nice. But I can only be nice for so long. Okay, so go to school. So she throws a drink in his face. And he's like, why would you do that? I was trying to be honest with you. No, you were trying to be mean. And I understand your dad just passed away. So I'm going to let this go. But just know I'm here if you need me. And now I'm leaving. Devin's like, why can't everybody just leave me alone? First, permanent separation. Well, you know how it is. You always believe that things can last forever. You make promises you believe other Sims promises. And then life happens. It draws distance between beings that were close. It fosters conflict where there used to only be peace. It brings weariness into a love that seemed eternal. And one day, a couple breaks, like Devin's. So Devin broke up with Janae. I wouldn't say that he wanted to break up with her. He actually probably wanted to stay in the relationship more so than anything. But in order to stay in the relationship, he would have to talk to her about his feelings. And so he's trying to push away anybody that may force him to think about his feelings. So it kind of like, in a way, his own inability to process his father's death has pushed away a bunch of people. His mother, his relationship with his mother, his relationship with Janae. So this is where we are at this moment, where he's kind of isolated himself. And in Devin's mind, the thing that's kind of going to save him from his pain and from all these things that have happened to him is going to college. So he is looking for that application and he is looking for his acceptance letter. All right, so happily he has been accepted to both schools that he applied to. His father would be so proud, but he's definitely going to Clark Atlanta because that is his dad's alma mater. And he really liked the brochure and the tour that he went on. So let's see. He is going to major in, because he wants to be a lawyer. So, well, I don't know. He's going to major in computer science, but I think he's going to do like a dual degree because obviously he started college early, so he has plenty of time. So he's going to do computer science because he really enjoys computer science, but eventually he wants to be a lawyer, so he probably also is going to get like a history or sort of a liberal arts degree. And let's see. I don't know if he actually got the scholarships or not because I'm not really sure how you find that out. All right, so Loco is helping him move. So he's moved into the dorms, and they're saying goodbye to each other. And Loco's letting him know, yeah, we found the people that got your dad, and we got him. So, I'm kind of laying low now. And, but you don't have to worry about anything. You just like, settle in to your dorm, go to college, do big things for me. So he's gonna claim a bed. And Devin thought that he was going to feel so much better once he got to college and was on his own, but he's really actually feeling even more depressed. He, is the youngest person here because he's still only 16 and most of the people here are 18 and older. And who is calling him? He doesn't want to talk to anybody. And the food is terrible. It's almost as bad as his high school food. At least they're using real meat though. All right, so back at home with Felicia. All right, so they're calling her about the funeral. Greetings, it's me again, Dr. Angel, your assigned medical examiner. I'm calling to let you know that the remains were already examined and properly treated. It is your best interest to proceed with a funeral service to honor the memory of Dennis, or would you like to donate remains to science to help people in need? Of course, we're doing the funeral service. Felicia needs to call the funeral home to decide how she wants the funeral to go. Click on your phone and look for the household tab and select call funeral home. All right, so she's having a really hard time. I mean, her son is now gone off to college, and now she's having to bury her husband. So, would you like to have the funeral service at Willow Creek Church? Okay, so she's setting it up at Willow Creek Church. Your funeral service was scheduled for Saturday at 9 a.m. You'll get a reminder. Okay. Well, until then, she's got to figure out how she's going to make it through the next few days. Janae is also feeling terrible. She is embarrassed by the breakup. She's not sure what happened. She really wanted to be there for Devin, to be a good girlfriend. She thought she at least had another year with him before he'd go off to college. But apparently, she wasn't enough. So we're at another career day and she's not really feeling it. Mr. Gibbs came over to tell her that he'd write her that letter of recommendation. She's been doing really well. She says, I'm not really thinking about college right now, so. Outstanding work, Janae. I've noticed your impressive grades, which makes you eligible for early graduation. Would you like to? Janae is definitely not graduating. She doesn't want to hear about college again for a very long time.